ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरुः सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरुः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So we completed the 34th verse of Ramagita, where the Tvam Padartha discussion was over. So here, in the 5 or 6 verses, from 30th verse onwards, Bhagwan Ram gave the Vedantic teaching of how to derive the real meaning of Tvam Padartha. That is Aham. Who is this Aham? Am I? Who is this I? Is it the body? Is it the mind and sense complexes? Is it the Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira? Or is it the Panchakoshas? Or is it the 3 avasthas through which the jiva is moving about? Or am I this jiva? Jiva means the one who has the jiva bhava. Am I that? So ultimately, using Bhagatyaga Lakshana, Mahavakya Vichara, very clearly Bhagwan Ram talked about Bhagatyaga Vichara and derived that Tvam Pada or the I, or in Vedanta when it says Tat Tvam Asi Mahavakya. Who is this Tvam? What is this Tvam? The I that I know myself normally as. I have to derive the real meaning of I, the Paramarthika meaning of I. The real I is when I peel off all the unreal anatma natures, unreal anatma layers of myself. Now the 3 bodies or the 5 koshas or the 3 avasthas, they're all the attributes of the real me, the Atma. So who am I? I am that Atma Swarupa, which is Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Chaitanya, Atma Swarupa. Now what is the meaning of this Chaitanya Atma Swarupa? By negating everything that I am not, what remains is the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma, the one who negates everything. When I say I am not the world, who is this I who is negating? That is the real me. I am not the world. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the sense complexes. In this way, neti neti iti pramanena, neti neti pramanena, nirakrita akhila jagat. When the akhila jagat is completely nirakritam, 34th verse, which we completed in the last session, when everything which I am not is peeled off from me, what remains is the real me, the consciousness, the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma. And similarly, in the Tat Padartha also, the same thing is done. The whole world is literally intellectually peeled off from Brahman as neti, neti, neti. This is not Brahman. This is not Brahman. And what is Brahman? What is the Tat Padartha? What is Ishvara or what is the Tat Padartha? That consciousness, which is the Adhishtanam of the entire Namarupatmakam Jagat. Just like I, this consciousness, which is the very Adhishtanam of this three Shariras or the Panchakoshas. Similarly, the Sat Chit Rupatmakam Adhishtanam of the entire Jagat is what is called as Brahman. And that Brahman is none other than you, this Atma. Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tat Tvam Asi Shvetaketo. This is the teaching in the Chandogya Upanishad. Tat Satyam. That is a Satyam. Satya means that which is there all the 3 periods of time. That which is the very Adhishtanam of the entire Namarupatmakam Prapanch. Tat Satyam. All the Namarupas are Mithya. They are not there constantly. What is remaining? The Sat Brahman. Tat Satyam. That Satyam Brahma Sa Atma is this Atma. Tat Tvam Asi. This is the Mahavakya. This is actually Atmajnanam. Actual Atmajnanam is Tattvamasi only. All the others are building up, preparing for this knowledge. Straight away, if Vedanta tells me Tattvamasi, what will I understand? So before understanding the Tvam Padartha, before understanding the Tat Padartha, number 1, I have to be a Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikari Mumukshu. That means I have made my Purushartha Nishchaya that what I want is moksha. And then I should prepare my intellect for it. How? Karma Yogena. Raga Dvesha management by Karma Yoga. Chitta Shuddhi. Upasana Yogena. Chitta Naishchalyam. The capacity to concentrate. Then, of course, I already have Viveka and Vairagya. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti Rupena. That means what? By disciplining the entire organism, me. Because who is the one who is doing this study? It is the Jiva who is doing it. Atma has nothing to learn. Atma doesn't have to purify itself. Atma doesn't have to know itself. Who is it that has to know who I am? It is this Ahankara Jiva which has to know who I am. Therefore, I should be prepared for it. Therefore, I should be a Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikari. And with all these things, when I am prepared, when I am an Uttama Adhikari, capable of understanding what the Shastra is telling me, then I go through the Jnana Yogam in the form of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So this whole preparatory stage takes up more than 95 to 98% of Vedanta. Tattvamasi is the final, the ultimate, the final step of the teaching of Vedanta. So, no Upanishad talks about Tattvamasi straight away. It starts talking about Atma Anatma Viveka, like Bhagavan Krishna did in the first 6 chapters. Then it tries to tell you who you are. You are not the Anatma body, mind, sense complex, but the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma Swarupa tells me that. Then the Tat Padartha has to be discussed. What is Tat Padartha? Ishvara or Brahman, like discussed from 7th chapter to the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is that Brahman? Is it Jagat Karana Brahman? If that is so, how did the Jagat appear in Brahman? Did Brahman change itself to become the universe? Or was the universe literally projected over this Brahman? So ultimately, what is this Brahman? The very Sat Adhishtanam, the Chit Adhishtanam of this entire universe. That screen on which the entire Jagat is projected as Ishvara's dream. The Mithya Jagat. Jagat Mithya means what? Doesn't mean that Jagat does not exist. It exists, but in a lower order of reality. It exists as the Vyavaharika Satyam, not the Paramarthika Satyam. So what happens here? That denying or removing neti, 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 this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman, iti. Just like I have peeled off the individual anatma layers intellectually by understanding, I have to learn to peel off the name and form anatma layers from the Jagat and come to the very adhishtanam or the very support of the universe, which is called as Brahman or Ishvara or Tat Padartha. So in both Tat Tvam Asi in the equation, Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana is done. Not Jahati Lakshana, not Ajahati Lakshana, Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana. Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana means essential part is retained, the non-essential part, neti neti pramanena, it is literally removed, discarded by the intellect. And what remains? The essential part of the Tvam Padartha on the left hand side and the essential part of Tat Padartha on the right hand side is none other than the same one and the same Advayam consciousness. This is what is meant by Neti Pramanena. In one word, the whole Vedanta is talked about here, about Bhagatyaga Lakshana. How we derive this equation, Mahavakya. Rama Gita is nothing but pure Vedanta. It's pure Vedanta. It's something like we are seeing the Tattva Bodha again, but in a more cryptic form. It's not like Narada Bhakti Sutra, which we just completed, where, there are a lot of very, it is a rasamaya, like a kavya, but here it is not like that. Here it is absolute Vedanta. Some people may feel it is dry, intellectual, but we have to go to this level sometime or the other. We can't just be there in only, just, at the superficial level. We have to jump into the river and learn to swim. Otherwise, how long are we going to stand on the banks? Okay, so now let's go to the 35th verse, which talks about what this Atma is, which we have already seen in the Swarupa Lakshanam of Atma, the Swarupa Lakshanani of Atma in Bhagavad Gita also in Kathopanishad. Kadachidatmanamrito na jayate nakshiyate napi vivarthate nava nirasta sarvatishaya sukatmakaha swayam prabha sarvagatoyam advayah. So kadachid atma namrito na jayate. Never ever this consciousness, Atma, Brahman. Now we know that Atma and Brahman are the same consciousness. They are not two different things. They are only two names given to the very same consciousness. I call it Atma with respect to this particular body-mind sense complex. And with the context of the whole universe outside, I call it Brahman. But Atma and Brahman are not two different things. So what he says, Kadachit, never ever. Okay? Atma na mrito na jayate. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Same thing. Kadachit atma na mritaha na jayate. Atma Brahman is all the time there. Trikale api tishtati. In all three periods of time. It's neither born nor dead. What is born? The physical body is born. What travels? The Sukshma Sharira travels. What is it that the Sukshma Sharira comes back with? A new body. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Navani gridhnati nare naroparani. We have seen that already in Bhagavad Gita. Right? It is the very same thing. Kadachit na mritaha na jayate atma. Okay? Na jayate mriyate va kadachit, same thing. That means atma, this consciousness, never goes through the Shadvikaras. Jayate, asti, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. This body goes through all those phases, isn't it? Jayate, it's born. Asti, it is there for some time. How many ever years it is supposed to be according to its prarabdha. Vardhate, the body grows after having, been born. Viparinamate, after some time, at a certain age, the body changes. So from Bala Avastha to Kumara Avastha, from Kumara Avastha to Yavana Avastha, from Yavana Avastha, to slowly it starts degenerating. It attains a plateau for some time, the adulthood, and after the age of 60 or 65 or whatever it is, slowly apakshaya starts. Apakshaya means what? The degeneration of the body. And then a time comes when the body dies. Similarly, the Jagat also. The Jagat is a new creation is born as a projection upon Brahman. It is there, it keeps changing. Vikaras go on in the Prapancha also. Things are getting born every minute. Things are growing every minute. Things are changing every minute. Things are degenerating every minute. And things are disappearing from the Jagat. It may not happen like one single body, one. But multiple things are there in the universe and multiple things are being born and growing and changing and all these things. So even in the world, in the Tat Padartha, also in the Anatma Jagat, the same thing is happening. But the Adhishtanam, or that upon which this body, mind, sense complex, this universe is projected, that Atma, that Sat Atma, that Brahman is never ever born, nor does it die. This means what? All the 6 vikaras of the Anatma are ruled out. Ajo nityah shashvatoyam puranaha. Nityah, infinite, imperishable, all the time there. Ajaha, nityah, shashvatayam puranaha. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Atma does not undergo any destruction because there are no changes that are happening. It all depends on what I identify myself with. If I identify myself as the ever-perishing jiva, ever-changing jiva, the fear of death, fear of samsara will be all the time there. But if I understand myself as the never ever born, never ever changing Atma, then what happens to me? I am no longer affected by the changing world, the changing body, because I am not that. Then nakshiyate napi vivardhate navaha. Nakshiyate na api vivardhate anavaha. There's no question of it becoming new again, changing, nakshiyate. It does not degenerate. Napi vardhate. It does not grow. There is no apachaya and there is no question of its vardhanam also. Okay? There's no question of a new Atma being born every now and then. No. Similarly, there is no new Brahman born now and then because Brahman and Atma are one and the same. Then, nirasta sarvatishayah sukhatmaka. Nirasta sarvatishayah sukha. Atishaya sukha swarupa. Atishaya sukha means ananda swarupa. Brahmananda swarupa. The highest form or the highest beyond which there is no question of happiness at all. Ananda swarupa atma. Sukha swarupa atma. Okay, so atishaya sukhatmakaha. Swayam prabhaha sarvagato ayam advayaha. Swayam prabhaha reveals itself. Light of consciousness which reveals itself, reveals everything. Swayam prabha, self-effulgent. You don't need to bring a torch to see that. Like sun, self-effulgent. In its presence, in its light, everything is seen. Similarly, Atma is also Swayam Prabha. You don't have to look for it. It reveals itself. It reveals everything else. Sarvagataha. Everywhere it is present. It's not only here behind this body. It is the same Atma. Kshetrajnam Sarva Kshetreshu. It is a Kshetrajna or the light of consciousness, Swayam Prabha. The Upanishads also call it Jyotisham Jyotihi. The light of all lights. Natatra Suryo Bhati, we have seen that. It is a light of all lights which cannot be lighted up either by Surya or Chandra or Tarakas or Agni, Vidyut, nothing. It is absolutely the Atma Swarupa, which is the self-revealing light of consciousness. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. When the light of consciousness shines, everything shines after it. Then sarvagataha. It is the same consciousness everywhere. Sarva kshetreshu kshetrajnaha. I am Atma. So who am I? I am the Sarvagata Atma. I am the Sarvatma. I am the Sarvatma Sarvabhuteshu. That is me. It's only our Upanishads who tell me this is your greatness. But unfortunately, I hold on to the jiva. I hold on to the body, mind, sense complex and think that I am limited as the body, mind, sense complex. Sarvagataha ayam advayaha. So the tat and tvam are not two different things. They are the same light of consciousness. Advayaha. This Atma is one without a second. There are no second things. There is no second consciousness, no second Atma, no second Brahman. No. There is one consciousness which is behind everything. It is a Sarvatma. Okay. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Lord Krishna says in chapter 6, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. That consciousness in everything, whatever it may be. This is Advayaha, Ayam Advayaha, Ayam Atma Advayaha. And then in the 36th verse, it says, if the question comes, there may be a question by Lakshmana, probably. Hey brother, hey Guru, if I am of this nature like this, then why am I in sorrow always? If I am the Ananda Swarupa Atma, if I am of the nature of the self-revealing light of consciousness, why is it that I am always in shoka? That's what Narada Maharshi asked his elder brother Sanat Kumara. He says, I am moving around everywhere. I don't have any restrictions or limitations. I know 64 Vidyas. Still, aham shochami. Still, I am sad. I am not happy with what is. I am afflicted by this shoka. But hey Guru, I have heard that Atmavit shokam tarati. Atmavit, the one who knows this Atma, shokam tarati, goes beyond sorrow. Abhayam vindati, goes to that where there is, and goes means what? Abides in that which where there is no fear. Abhayam param vindati. Parakashta paragatim vindati. Then that means, if that is the case, why is it that there is so much of sorrow? I am sorrowful. My happiness is so, momentary. I'm happy for some time. Then again my sorrow starts. So what is the reason for that? That is being asked in the 36th verse, and answer is also given in the last two lines. First two lines is the question. Probably Lakshmana's question. So, येवं विधे ज्ञानमये सुखात्मके कथं भवो दुःखमयः प्रतीयते अज्ञानतोऽध्यासवशात् प्रकाशते ज्ञाने विलीयेत विरोधतक्षणात् येवं विधे ज्ञानमये सुखात्मके. If, hey Guru, Sri Ram, if you say this is Jnanamaya Atma, Sukhatma, of the nature of Jnanam and Sukha, Katham Bhavo Dukkhamaya Pratiyate. Why is that this world around me appears so full of sorrow? Not only the world, I also. I also belong to the world, isn't it? The world is not something which is away from me. I am also an integral part of the world. So, yevam vidhe jnanamaye sukhatmake. Okay, atmani, in this atma, which is of the nature of jnanam. Jnanam means what? Light of consciousness. Sukhatmake, ananda swarupa atmani. Chit Swarupa Atmani, Yevam Vidhe, in this kind of an Atma, this type of an Atma, Katham Bhavo Dukkhamayah Pratiyate. Why is it that this Bhava, this whole universe, appears full of Dukkha? What is the reason for that? Hey Guru, this is the question. Dukkhamayah Pratiyate Bhavaha. Katham? Why? Why is it that this whole universe appears so full of sorrow? We are seeing now. We are in a situation where there is so much of dukkha everywhere. Right? So why? Why is this? So, answer is Ajnanato adhyasavashat prakashate. Ajnanatah, because of my ajnanam. We have already talked about what is ajnanam. Avidya. Mula avidya. The veiling of my intellect as to not understand the reality of myself and the world. This mula avidya. Ajnanatah. What happens? Adhyasaha vashat. Now, Bhagwan Rama is bringing out a very important part of the teaching of Vedanta called as Adhyasa or projection. So he says Ajnanataha, because of this Ajnana, Adhyasa Vashat, there is a projection or a superimposition. When I see a movie, the screen is there, the adhishtanam, but I don't see the screen. I see only those images which are moving on the screen, which are mithya, isn't it? Those people really who are there are not really there. So that means this whole world is projected. This is called as adhyasa. I'm mistakenly projecting something onto something else where it doesn't belong. This is called as adhyasa. Adhyasa vashat prakashate. Jnane viliyeta virodhatah kshanat. But once this atmajnanam happens, once I understand aham brahmasmi, once I understand tattvamasi and aham brahmasmi, in this knowledge, this adhyasa completely disappears. There are so many examples of adhyasa we can give. Common example given in Vedanta is Rajju Sarpa. Okay, there is a Rajju, there is a rope lying somewhere. And in the dim darkness, it's neither fully dark nor fully light. In the twilight, in the evening. Okay? I don't see that rope as rope. It looks as though it is a snake. I may look at it as a snake because I project a snake on that rope. Another person may project a branch of a tree on that and may see that as a branch, tree branch or a stick. Okay? Similarly, another example is given. Shuktika Rajatam. Shuktika means a shell which is lying on the seashore. And in the bright light, it shines. When it shines, what do I say? I project or superimpose silver on that shell, seashell. Really, there is no silver. I am projecting it. You can take a magician's Indrajala. Same thing. There's nothing there. Whatever he is bringing out, there's nothing. It is pure projection. It's pure Maya, sleight of hand. I'm sitting on the other side, so I see it as real. But if I go backstage and see, nothing is there. Whatever the magician is doing is only projecting a Maya. Like a movie, projecting a Maya. Nothing is really there. It's just a projection. There is a projector, of course, which projects. Similarly, another example is given. An example of that of mirage water. On the hot sand, I see hot air. I don't see, the hot air on the hot sand. I project it as layers of water. Not only a human being. Adhyasa happens in animals also. Even desert animals take it as water and they run after that. And the closer you go towards that water, mirage water, the further the mirage water appears. Still further. This is our life. We are running after things which is like mirage. We never achieve it because by the time we go near that, it has already gone very much further away from us, going after happiness. I feel that if I get this, I'll be happy. By the time I go there near my whatever I feel is going to give me happiness, that which gives me happiness has already changed, gone further away. What we are chasing is always a moving target. That is magic. That is mithya. Okay? There is nothing permanent there. Similarly, Adhyasa, he says, Ajnata Ajnanatah Adhyasa Vashat Prakashate. Because of my Ajnana, I don't see the body as an Atma. I don't understand I as the Paramarthika Satya Atma. I superimpose the characteristics of the body mind on to me, the Atma. And in turn, I superimpose this consciousness existence on another. This is called as Anyonya Adhyasa. Anyonya Adhyasa. So, as long as this avidya is there, then I don't know who I am. Because of this avidya, there is an adhyasa. That is projecting something which is really not there, where it is not there. That which is not there and where it is not there, there is something which is seen there. That is what is called as adhyasa. There is no proper translation for it in English, but the nearest we can say is a projection or something which is an imagined projection, Brahma. Something like I see a snake on the rope. Most common Vedantic example is rope snake example. Okay. So, what is this adhyasa? Which gets totally melted away in knowledge. He says, Viliyate jnane viliyeta virodhatah kshanat. Naturally, ajnanam is what is causing the adhyasa. Jnanam will completely dissolve the adhyasa. Correct? That which is causing projection, if that itself is removed, where is the question of projection? It is not there. Correct? When the movie is over, the projection stops. So there's nothing seen except the screen. Correct? Similarly, in semi-darkness, I'm seeing a rope and projecting a snake on it. But if light is brought, the snake disappears. Where was the snake in the first place to disappear? It was not there in the first place. So, when the knowledge was brought in the form of light, and when I saw that what is there is only a rope, the knowledge of the rope, clear knowledge of the rope, snake has just disappeared because it was never there in the first place. Like a dream, another very important example. Dream looks as if it's absolutely real. What is dream? It's a projection of my past memories. The mind is projecting upon the screen of the mind. And I see myself as a dream subject, experience various dream objects, go through various experiences in dreams. The moment I wake up, bringing in the knowledge, light of knowledge, where is the dream? It's gone. So adhyasa means that which is really not there, but which is experienced as though it is real because of my ajnana. Like Rajju Sarpa, if it is fully bright, then there's no question of mistaking the rope for a snake. If there is total darkness also, there is no question of seeing the rope at all. If there is semi-darkness, there is a chance of mistaking the rope for a snake, mistaking a stump of a tree for a man or woman standing there. All kinds of things we see. When we go to parks and all, where there are big trees, very tall trees, it's somewhere in the twilight where the lights have not yet been put on. We can see all kinds of akaras, as if a tall person is standing there. You can see the forms of whatever you want, you can project. Like Gandharva Nagari, another example. I'm just giving you these examples to understand what adhyasa is. What is Gandharva Nagari? When you are sitting and looking at the sky, clouds are there and we can project anything on them. We can create a city out of those clouds. I can create a palace, project a palace on the sky and see the palace in the clouds. It's called as Gandharva Nagari, a city of illusion. We people, 3-4 people can sit together and even see how much each of us can, how good we are in projecting. We can build stories around that. This is what is called as Adhyasa. And what is Adhyasa is being explained here in the 37th verse. So let's read this. Yadanyadanyatra vibhavyate brahmad adhyasamithyahuraham vipaschitaha asarpabhute hi vibhavanam yatha rajvadike tadvadapishware jagat. So this whole Jagat is nothing but a projection on Brahman, on Ishvara. Just like I project a snake on the Raju, this whole universe of various names and forms is like the Gandharva Nagari. It is a projection on Ishvara. So what he's saying is, Yad Anyat anyatra vibhavyate brahmat. So the definition of adhyasa is atasmin tad buddhihi. What is not here, I see it here. What is elsewhere but not here, I see that here. Anyad anyatra vibhavyate brahmat. Brahma means because of ajnana. Anyad anyatra vibhavyate. What is not here is seen as that which is here. Okay? That is called as adhyasam iti ahuhu amum vipaschitaha. Vipaschitaha means wise people, jnanis, call this as adhyasa. Saying something which is really not there. Atasmin tad buddhihi. Atasmin, in this Raju, tad buddhihi, sarpa buddhi. Here, where there is no snake, I see the snake. Atasmin, here, tad buddhihi, that vision. Here, that vision, which is not here. Vision means that which is not here. But I see something which is not here. So he says, Yad anyatra vibhavyate brahmat. That's a Brahma because of ajnana. So what is not here, I see it as it is here. Adhyasamiti ahuhu amum vipaschitaha. This is called as adhyasa by learned people, by jnanis. So how do you define adhyasa? Atasmin tad buddhi. That which is not here in reality is seen as though it is here. And all my vyavahara goes on according to that. So what he says is, asarpa bhute ahi vibhavanam yatha. Asarpa bhute in Rajju. Okay. Rajvadike. Adi means various. In Rajju you see Sarpa. In Shuktika you see Rajatam. Okay. In Marusthalam you see Mrigamarichika. In the Vyoma you see Gandharva Nagari. That is what is called as Atasmin Tat Buddhi. Okay. So he says, Asarpa Bhute Ahi Vibhavanam Yatha. Just like you see a Sarpa in Asarpa. Rajju is Asarpa. Isn't it? Rajvadike. Similarly, a shell is a shell. It's not silver. So Rajvadike in various locations or in various loci, in various locus, we see something different. Asarpa bhute ahi vibhavanam yatha. Tadvad, in the same way, Ishvare api jagat. This whole Jagat is nothing but a projection in Brahman. And who causes this projection? Maya at the level of Samashti, Avidya at the level of the Vyashti individual. Okay, this intellect which is veiled by Maya because of Ajnanam, Atasmin Tadbuddhi. Unconscious, Anatma, body, mind, sense complex is taken to be conscious. The real consciousness, I, the Atma, is seen to be I am born, I am changing, I am dying. So, the body's dharmas are projected onto the Atma. The Atma dharmas are projected onto the body. The names and forms in the universe are projected upon Brahman. And the reality or Sat of Brahman is projected upon the ever-changing, disappearing Namarupas. This is our samsara. That is why we are not happy. Ajnana, Adhyasa, then because of the Adhyasa, the Jagat is taken to be real, the body, mind, sense complex is taken to be real, and all our Shoka. So, Dukkhamaya Bhavaha Pratiyate, like in the previous verse we saw. The whole universe is Dukkhamaya. Correct? Dukkhamaya means doesn't mean that there is no Sukha at all. There is. I mean, yes, there are occasional glimpses of Sukha. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. If entire life it is Dukkha, of course there are people, there are countries probably who have never really understood what happiness means. Always living in fear, always living in suppression. But the real freedom is understanding and knowing that I am neither of these. I don't require this projected universe to make me happy. I don't require the ever-changing Namarupa of the Jagat to make me happy. I don't require this body-mind sense complex to make me happy. Because I am the very Ananda Swarupa Atma. And all that is there, including Dukkha, is a projection upon. I am projecting Dukkha onto myself. Really, I am not Dukkha Swarupa. I am the Sukha Swarupa. Yevam vide jnanamaye sukhatmake katham bhavo pratukhamaya pratiyate. I had asked this question to my Guru. If I am of the nature of Ananda, Sukha, why am I unhappy? What is it that is keeping me unhappy? This is our question. Everyone's question is that. And that is what Vedanta answers. Vedanta is saying, look, you are not unhappy, but it is your ajnanam, not knowing who you are, not knowing what the world is, not knowing what Ishvara is, but projecting, superimposing something which is not there. Deha dharmas are projected on the Atma. Atma dharma is projected on the Deha. Anyonya adhyasa. Mutual superimposition. Okay, so he says, Asarpa bhute ahi vibhavanam. Ahi means snake. Asarpa bhute rajvadike. Where there is no snake, like in Rajju. What do I see? Ahi vibhavanam. I see a snake and I may run away also. Another person may say, no, it's a stick. It's just a branch of a tree which is just fallen. A little crooked branch has fallen. Another person may say, it's just a small stream of water which is going. So, here, Rajvadike Tadvad api, in the same way, Ishvare Jagat Pratiyate Adhyasena Ajnanataya Adhyasavashat Ishvare api Jagat Idam Jagat Satyamiti pratiyate. Satyamiti. It's really not there. It is just a hot air balloon, this whole universe, names and forms. Today it's there, tomorrow it's not there. Correct? I would have seen somebody the previous night and next morning that person is gone. That body is gone. So do you say that person was not there at all? No, I have seen. But today it's not there. So what is it? That means the ever-changing anatma is given the reality. And the real which doesn't change is not recognized. That is our problem. That is our avidya. The real unchanging I, the real unchanging atma is not at all seen or understood or even recognized. The ever-changing anatma of the names and forms of the world and my body, mind, sense complex, I take it as real. So the real is taken as unreal. The real is not recognized at all. Forget about unreal. I am limited, body, mind, sense complex. That's all I know. What is it that makes me a listener? What is it that makes me a speaker? I don't think of it. The sense organs are doing their jobs. What is it behind that? I don't know. So, not knowing the reality and projecting something which is unreal as real, that is what is called as adhyasa. Similarly, the unreal universe is projected upon Ishvara. Okay, then in the 38th verse, we'll just read this verse. Let's see. Vikalpamaya rahite chidatmake ahankarayesha pratamah prakalpitaha adhyasayevatmani sarvakarane niramaye brahmani kevale pare. So how the jivatva bhava comes as an adhyasa on me, the Atma. That is what is explained here. Okay. This all knowledge rupa chid Atma, in this consciousness Atma. Okay. Vikalpa maya rahite chidatmake. In this chit Atma which has no vikalpa, no changes, there is nothing which is constantly changing, which is all the time there. Maya rahita, vikalpa rahita chidatmake. The very first abnormality or the very first seed of adhyasa or mistake is ahankaraha. What is this ahankaraha? The reflection of me, the Atma, in the buddhi, called as Chidabhasa, gets associated with this body, mind, sense complex and calls itself I, the ahankara. That's the first step of adhyasa. The first step in the process of adhyasa is ahankara, the first change. The all-pervading consciousness gets reflected in the buddhi of every jiva, because the buddhi is a very subtle reflecting medium and forms a reflection. The reflection is considered to be real by me, but the original Bimba Atma is forgotten. When I stand in front of the mirror, I look at the mirror and see myself, but I know I am there. But here, in real life, the reflection takes itself to be the real one, plays all the havoc. Ahankara yesha pratamaha parikalpitaha, prakalpitaha or parikalpitaha. The first change, which is kalpitaha, the first projection is ahankara. What is ahankara? The I-ness, the me-ness, the me. Not aham atma brahma, not that. Ayam atma brahma, not that. The reflection, along with the body mind sense complex, calls itself a separate entity or a jiva, completely forgets the Bimba Chaitanyam. The Pratibimba Chaitanyam or the Chidabhasa takes itself to be the real one and associates itself with anything and everything, which is the reason for dukkha. Prathamaha prakalpitaha ahankara jivatva bhava. I have fallen from Brahma bhava to Jiva bhava. Adhyasah yeva atmani sarvakarane niramaye brahmani kevale pare. Okay. This is the first adhyasa, that I am ahankara. I am this so and so. I am this ugly body or beautiful body or old body or whatever it is. I am the one who is born to so and so. I am the one who. So the very first step of adhyasa is the reflection, Chidabhasa, taking itself to be the Bimba Chaitanyam. The Pratibimba Chaitanyam, forgetting the Bimba Chaitanyam, taking itself to be the real, the original, and attaching itself to everything around it. This is what is called as the first, step of adhyasa. The first step of the whole confusion. And where is this adhyasa happening? Adhyasa eva atmani sarvakarane niramaye brahmani kevale pare. So what is this world? Who am I? Atma. Who's what? Sarvakarana Atma Brahma. Niramayaha. Unafflicted Atma Brahma. Niramaye Brahmani. Kevale Pare Brahmani. Okay, so it's absolutely all pervading, free from all afflictions, free from all illusion, free from all projection. The first projection is ahankara, I, me. Of course, in English, ahankara is called as the ego, but that's really not the correct. That's not the correct translation, actually. It can mean many things. So, okay, there's nothing wrong in calling it ego, ahankara. Ahankara is that I am who? Niramaya, Kevala, Para, Sarvakarana, Atma, Brahma. And in me, the ahankara is the very first what? Adhyasa. So we'll stop with this. This is pure Vedanta. But I can't help it. We have taken this text and we have to see that. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu gurus sada sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.